Now, China is set to introduce its own digital currency soon. And experts in an AFP report are predicting that the digital currency will be used to allow the government and the central bank to watch over what people spend their money on. The usual concept of cryptocurrencies allows users to trade under anonymity, but experts say that China's e-cash system, well, it will be tightly regulated. With the aim to replace cash, China's digital currency is likely to be more akin to electronic money, stored perhaps on a physical medium than a cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, which is, of course, based on an online network. Last month, China's central bank governor, akin, said that the new cryptocurrency may be associated with existing electronic payment systems, such as the popular WeChat and AliPay phone apps. Now, those apps are widespread, and they allow yuan transactions via bank accounts. China's move coincides with Facebook's own plans to launch a cryptocurrency, Libre, due to be rolled out next year. Libre aims to offer a new payment method outside traditional banking channels to buy goods or to send money. It's targeting people who don't have bank accounts and works as easily as an instant message. However, some countries are, well, they're rather unsettled by the crypto coin, and they've warned of perhaps the risks that it poses to the global financial system. Now, for more on these developments, let's cross over to Jeff. He's Chief Asia Economist at Continuum Economics. Jeff, welcome. Right, so the CPI level, will it remain elevated for the rest of 2019 for China, do you think?
Well, I think it'll be divergent because what we have seen in September was that the pork prices was relatively elevated due to the local festivals and, of course, the China Golden Week holiday. I think that's going to fade a little bit as the months come by. But at the same time, if you look at other core components of inflation, like residents, healthcare, they look pretty muted. So I think overall it's showing that apart from one or two items in food, China's inflation is in fact quite benign. So that in fact does give the central bank some room to ease further if they want to.
Jeff, on that point, the PBOC chief has said that China is in no rush to follow global interest rate cuts. Do you think this could impact its easing?
Well, I think China is a little bit different compared to other major economies in the sense that it doesn't have to ease as much, and they do have more concerns such as financial stability, high debt levels, as well as, for instance, other challenges like high food inflation at the moment. So I think there will be some macroprudential measures to help to alleviate, for instance, the high food inflation, but there will be some limited easing from the People's Bank of China going forward.
Jeff, what about GDP figures? Because the IMF has said that a deeper trade war with the United States could sap some 2% off that number. What do you think it's going to be when it comes out later this week?
At this moment, I think GDP growth will look like 6.1% year-on-year in Q3 compared to the 6.2% in Q2, with some possibilities that GDP growth will be 6% or even lower. However, I think there's still going to be some pockets of strength within the economy, even though I think we are a bit concerned, for instance, regarding the strength of the consumer spending, as well as, I think, external headwinds continuing, because what has happened within the US-China trade war has already damaged a bit of the economy in terms of confidence and in terms of investments. So a harder landing of GDP growth towards 5+%, I think, will indeed raise more alarm bells for the world economy.
Jeff, there's been some backlash for Facebook's Libre virtual currency. Now China says it wants to introduce one. What can China bring to the table that others can't with its cryptocurrency?
Yeah, with regards to its cryptocurrencies, I think it will be very different in terms of implementation for China's own cryptocurrency compared to, for instance, the Libre one, because it will be more centralized by China, and I think it will be more widely adopted by the people in China as well, because the government will definitely have a lot of initiatives to make sure that it's widely adopted within China. So I think there could be some subtle differences in the sense that there will be more adoption domestically, but there may be more challenges to, for instance, expand it outside of China. Whereas compared to Libre in Facebook, I think it's going to be more decentralized, but it also does lack a little bit of government backing the cryptocurrency itself. So yeah, I think still a lot to be watch out for in terms of how it's going to be implemented, and I think the details will determine how far it can go going forward.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much for your perspective on all of that. We've been speaking there to Jeff Ng from Continuum Economics.